Over the last 20 years, China has been building an impressive high-speed rail network at lightning speed. And while there has been both a lot of praise as well as criticism for this massive project, there is one big obstacle that no one really seems to talk about. If you had to take a guess, what do you think that issue might be? Let us know in the comments below. However, before we get into this often overlooked problem, let's first take a quick look into the background of this massive undertaking. Over the past 20 years, China has taken leaps and bounds in their rail network. In the late 90s, China was just starting to modernize its railways. Fast forward to today, and they boast the largest high-speed rail network in the world. From unparalleled coverage that connects remote regions to major cities, to speeds that rival air travel, China's high-speed rail network has many positives. It's revolutionized travel, bolstered economic growth, and set a global standard for what rail travel can be. The state-of-the-art Fuxing high-speed trains are also frequently praised for their comfort and punctuality. But no system is perfect. While the rail network has vastly improved connectivity, it has also faced criticism for excessive infrastructure costs, potential environmental impacts, and questions about financial sustainability. The megaproject has also often been criticized for forcing countless of residents to relocate in order to make space for the train tracks. But even with all those issues, the astonishing thing is that the most pressing problem is rarely mentioned at all. This is an issue that directly impacts both potential passengers on a daily basis as well as hinders the development of increased usage of the system. And that problem is the price of the tickets. As it turns out, high-speed convenience and cutting-edge technology come with a hefty price tag, making it unaffordable for many locals. The pricing problem. Let's take the Beijing-Shanghai route for example, where a second-class ticket can cost around $87. Now, consider the median monthly income in China, which is around $990. Putting this into perspective, this means that for a single second-class one-way ticket from Beijing to Shanghai, the average Chinese person would be spending 9% of their monthly income just on that single ticket. This means a significant portion of their income is eaten up by transportation costs if they choose to travel by high-speed rail. To give a global perspective, let us see how those prices compare to those of other countries with a high-speed rail network. First, let's look at Italy, a country that has also heavily invested into its high-speed rail network, and its trains reach similar speeds as well as comfort as the Chinese trains. In Italy, a 4.5 hours ride from Milan to Naples would set you back around $90, meaning it is almost the same price as in China. However, with Italy's higher median income of around $3,000 per month, that ticket would only take up 3% of your income. Next, let's add Japan into the mix. Japan has a long and proud history around its bullet train industry, and the highly popular Shinkansen train is probably one of the most well-known high-speed trains around the world. In Japan, a 2.5 hours trip from Tokyo to Osaka costs around $92 and is therefore also almost equally priced with China and Italy. However, same as Italy, at $3,500, Japan has a fairly higher median income. Same as in Italy, that would mean for a single ticket locals would have to spend around 3% of their monthly income. Lastly, let's take a look at Switzerland, a country often cited for its expensive public transportation. In Switzerland, a trip from Zurich to Geneva, a journey that takes around 3 hours, costs about $97. That's only $10 more than the Beijing to Shanghai high-speed train, despite Switzerland's reputation for high costs. And with Switzerland's median income of $7,500, such a ticket would only take up as little as 1% of a local's income. When looking at this international comparison, it becomes quickly apparent that China's high-speed rail is rather pricey. This is even more so the case if you consider that there is a country-wide push and promotion to get residents to use the train network as often as possible. But there's another dynamic to this issue: air travel. The fact is that the high-speed rail network faces fierce competition from its airborne counterpart. The Chinese air travel industry is well developed with thousands of flights and modern mega airports in all larger cities. China's air travel industry is currently also experiencing an additional new development which strongly promotes air travel. The Chinese state-owned aerospace company Comac has just recently launched the first Chinese-made narrow-body airliner, and the government is pushing its sales and usage immensely. Going back to our Beijing to Shanghai example, As mentioned, the high-speed rail ticket costs around $87 and the journey takes about 4.5 hours. Now, let's look at what a flight on this same route would look like. An economy air ticket for the same route can be as low as $115, and it cuts the travel time down to just 2 hours. Of course, when comparing trains to planes, it is often argued that although the flight itself is shorter, additional time is needed for security checks, boarding, and travel to and from more remotely located airports. However, in China, the reality is somewhat different. High-speed train stations are often located on the outskirts of cities, similar to airports. Moreover, procedures for high-speed rail can mimic those of air travel, including passport checks and luggage screening. This means the convenience factor of city center arrivals, typically associated with train travel, is somewhat diminished. With these similarities, the choice between air and rail travel in China becomes even more a question of price versus speed. When factoring in the convenience and time saving, for many, the extra cost becomes justifiable, further intensifying the competition for the high-speed rail. Another critical piece of the puzzle is the profitability of the high-speed rail network itself. With ticket revenues being a significant source of income, one might assume that the high ticket prices would translate into healthy profits. However, this isn't the case. High-speed rail is an expensive business, and with infrastructure maintenance, energy consumption, and personnel costs all adding up, the network has recently surpassed a total debt of a whopping $900 billion. Despite high ticket prices, many lines, especially those in less populated regions, struggle to break even due to low occupancy rates. Many argue that if ticket prices were more affordable, passenger volumes would increase, potentially leading to improved profitability over the long term. This could make the high-speed rail network more financially sustainable, while also better serving the transportation needs of the Chinese public. All of these factors raise questions about the current ticket pricing for China's high-speed rail and if it could be made more affordable and sustainable for its users. So what does the future hold for China's high-speed rail? Well, all is not lost yet. Potential solutions could involve price reductions to make travel more accessible or integrating new technology to lower operating costs. Only time will tell if these solutions can be implemented and help to make the Chinese high-speed railway more affordable for its customers. And that wraps up our deep dive into China's world of rail transportation for today. Have you experienced China's high-speed rail network? Do you think the ticket price is an issue? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you really wanted to show us some appreciation, check out this next video right here.